Imagine standing on a peaceful farm where the morning sun lights up the golden hills, while gentle horses run freely across the grass. For 20 whole seasons, this place has not just been a ranch, but a safe home where broken spirits and wounded hearts learn to heal again. But as time moves forward, every single family reaches a moment where the past meets the future, and they must decide what is worth fighting for. The dirt paths of Heartland carry years of tears, laughter, and hard lessons, yet a new day is dawning that will test this family like never before. The golden sunrise and sacred memories. The morning air at Heartland is quiet, cool, and filled with the clean smell of fresh pine and damp earth. A gentle mist hangs over the green pastures as the very first rays of golden sunlight break through the trees, casting a warm glow across the wooden barns and long fences. Out in the open field, a small herd of horses moves gracefully through the tall grass, their hooves creating a steady, calming rhythm against the soft ground. Amy Fleming stands near the fence line, resting her hands against the weathered wood that her grandfather built so many years ago. She watches the animals with a gentle smile, remembering how every corner of this land carries a story of patience and love. Her eyes drift toward the main house, where smoke rises slowly from the chimney, signaling that the home is awake and ready for another full day. This farm has seen endless storms, quiet miracles, and generations of laughter, serving as a peaceful place for anyone who needed a second chance. Amy takes a deep breath of the morning air, feeling a strong connection to the dirt beneath her boots and the quiet promise of the land. She knows that every horse brought through these gates arrives with a secret pain, and every victory earned in the ring takes time, trust, and complete dedication. The morning light slowly fills the valley, painting the hills in shades of yellow and orange, making the whole world feel fresh and brand new. As the horses gather near the water trough, drinking peacefully under the bright sky, Amy turns her gaze toward the old training ring where her journey first began as a young girl. The memories feel so clear and close, as if no time has passed at all, reminding her why this ranch matters so much to everyone who steps foot on it. The soft morning peace slowly fades as dark. Heavy clouds begin to gather over the distant mountains, casting long shadows across the valley. A sharp wind sweeps across the fields, making the barn doors creak loudly against their metal hinges as the horses toss their heads nervously in the pasture. Down by the main barn, Jack stood quietly on the porch, his eyes narrowed as he watched the sky turn from blue to a dark gray color. He could feel the sudden drop in temperature, but it was not just the approaching rainstorm that made his chest feel heavy with concern. Inside the house, family papers and land documents sat scattered across the wooden kitchen table, showing that big changes were drawing closer to the ranch boundary lines. Lou walked out onto the porch holding a cup of hot coffee, her face looking tired and stressed as she looked out toward the dusty entrance road. She spoke in a low voice about new property developments, rising costs, and decisions that could force them to sell off a large part of the pastures they loved so much. Amy walked up the steps, wiping dust from her hands, and saw the worried expressions shared between her grandfather and her sister. She knew that Heartland had survived bad weather, money troubles, and personal pain in the past, but this time felt different because the threat was right at their doorstep. A sudden gust of wind blew through the trees, making the horses whinny loudly and run toward the shelter of the wooden stalls. Jack placed his hand firmly on the porch railing and reminded them that this land was not just dirt and grass, but a piece of their souls that held the family together. As the first heavy drops of rain began to hit the roof, the three of them stood close together, knowing that a tough fight was coming and that they would have to stick together to save their home. The rain pours down hard against the gravel drive, splashing in heavy mud puddles as thunder rolls across the dark sky. Inside the covered arena, the air is thick with the scent of damp leather, sweet cedar shavings, and the warm breath of a frightened animal. A young wild bay colt paces frantically along the wooden wall, his eyes wide with fear as he snorts and kicks up dust with every sudden movement. Lyndy stands near the center of the ring holding a soft cotton lead rope, her boots covered in wet mud, looking toward her mother with a mix of fear and deep determination. Amy steps back against the wooden gate, choosing not to step in or grab the rope, knowing that her daughter needs to find her own voice and confidence right now. Katie leans against the outer railing, shouting words of encouragement above the sound of heavy rain beating on the tin roof above them. Lyndy takes a slow, calm breath, lowers her shoulders just like her mother taught her, and turns her body away to show the young colt that she is not a threat. She speaks in a low, gentle voice, whispering calm words that carry softly through the noisy storm outside. The colt stops his nervous pacing, his ears twitching forward as he watches the young girl with growing curiosity. Slowly, step by step, the horse lowers his head, licks his lips, and takes 3 cautious steps forward until his wet nose touches Lyndy's outstretched hand. Tears mix with the raindrops on Lyndy's face as she gently strokes the animal's forehead, feeling the sharp rhythm of his heart begin to slow down and match her own calm energy. From across the arena, Jack watches the scene unfold with a small smile breaking across his lined face. Realizing that the gentle spirit of Heartland has successfully passed down to a brand new generation, as the storm finally passes, bright beams of golden sunlight cut through the breaking clouds, illuminating the dripping pine trees and fresh, clean mud around the barn. The air smells sweet and pure, filled with the rich scent of washed earth and green grass stretching across the valley. Out in the pasture, the wild bay colt walks peacefully beside Lyndy, his head resting gently near her shoulder as if he has known her for a lifetime. Amy walks down the wooden steps of the main house to join Jack, Lou, and Katie near the fence line, where they all stand side by side watching the quiet miracle unfold. The heavy worries about money and changing times do not vanish overnight, but the heavy weight in their hearts feels lighter now that they are standing firm together. Jack looks out over the wide-open horizon, leaning on his trusted wooden cane, and speaks softly about how every storm eventually clears to reveal a stronger foundation underneath. Lou takes out her notebook, no longer looking defeated, but ready to make new plans that protect their heritage while stepping bravely into the future. Katie places a supportive arm around her younger cousin, laughing softly as the young horse nuzzles Lyndy's jacket, looking for a hidden apple treat. Amy watches her family with tears of pride in her eyes, knowing that the heart of this ranch will never be broken as long as love and patience guide their hands. The camera pans back slowly over the beautiful valley, capturing the red barn, the rolling green hills, and the small family gathered closely together under the clear blue sky. A final, powerful voiceover reminds the audience that home is not just a place on a map, but a promise kept across generations, leaving viewers eagerly waiting to see where the road leads next.